Alright, so I am going to be getting everything set up. Well, it is all set up, but I'm just making sure. Let's do a sound check. If anyone is in the chat already, just because with software updates and everything, I want to make sure everyone can hear me. Can you hear me? Can I get a sound check in the chat? Sound check in the chat. Let me know. I can hear you. Let me know if you can hear me, and then we'll get started. And then we will get started. I'm waiting. And if you guys are new here, welcome to Jenetics Creations. This entire channel is dedicated towards all things crochet. So I cover yarn, I cover patterns, I cover how to make things, but this weekly live class is always dedicated towards me teaching you guys how to crochet a project. Often, we are using a pattern. Excuse me. If you guys have your water, definitely make sure to grab that. Cheers, cheers. But as we get people in here, let me know if you guys can hear me. Last week, we started the Chameleon. This is part 2. So if you are new, don't fret. You can always catch up. Last week's class is in the playlist. Awesome. What's up, Adelina? Glad you can hear me. Glad everything's working good. So last week, we made the Chameleon head, and we made the body. Today, we're going to be wrapping this project up. We have a lot to get done, so we are going to jump right into it, but make sure you guys don't need any more polyfill, but what you will need is more of your main body yarn. You will need a pipe cleaner. I know we lovingly call this a chenille stick, because some of those words get filtered when we're on other platforms, but you'll need a pipe cleaner. I'm going to untangle mine. I always kind of have a bunch of them on hand, because, you know, they tend to be common items in random crafts, and we are all serial crafters. I don't think anyone just stays with crochet, but you'll need a pipe cleaner to finish it. That's just for the tail, and then that's kind of it. We are getting to the end. Oh, also your yarn needles. So if you guys have yarn needles, grab them. So grab your Chameleon parts from last week, grab more yarn, pipe cleaner, and your needle. I don't remember what hook I was using. I did a no-no and I didn't mark it, so I think I have the right one. We're just gonna roll with it. And we'll jump right in just a few seconds. What's up, Grace? Hello! I'm so glad everyone's getting in here, so you guys won't miss it at all. I love it. If you guys did these 2 portions, let me know in the chat. Let me know if I did, and that way I know who's finishing this with me, and I can make sure. I think, Grace, you said you were crocheting with me last week. I want to make sure I don't leave anyone behind. If you're new here, again, please use the chat, ask questions, stop me, slow me down, tell me if you guys need me to re-demonstrate anything. This is an interactive class for a reason. I teach live, so you guys get the chance to ask whatever questions you need and get the help you need, so you guys can walk away with a really cool project, because there is no reason any stitcher should be left behind. You're making it later. Oh, that's right. Yes, you are. You are. So you're staying around for the replay. I don't have to worry about it. Let's see. Anyone else who might be new here or watching this after the fact, let me cover a few things. Check out the description. When you get a chance, check out the description. You're going to find a few different things. You're going to find the link to this pattern. It is a free pattern on Ribbler. So you'll find the link to that person's pattern. You can go there. You can make this at your will. You're also going to find a free Google document that you can download. It is a PDF. You can download it, print it off. It has a lot of just crochet lingo and things like that for beginners. Also, if you're new to crochet diagrams and you want to start venturing out there, it'll help you take what you've learned in class, and it'll help you take those skills and start applying it to other patterns. Just in case I'm not exactly covering what you want to learn at that exact moment, you don't have to wait for me. But as you guys know, a lot of my content is based off of what you guys want to make. So if there's something you're like dying to make and you're like, oh my gosh, I found some patterns, but I don't know how to do it and I don't want to be left on my own, send it to me. Send it to me, send it to me, send it to me. I will be happy to try to incorporate it into my teaching so that you guys don't get held back. Everyone should be able to stitch. I'm a firm believer in that. It's why the channel even exists, is because everyone told me they wanted to learn to crochet but didn't know where to start, and I'm like, oh, it's easy, I'll teach you. But with COVID and some other things, you know, obviously we had to do it remote, and then this channel kind of took off, and that's why we are here. But live class every Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. You guys can always follow, subscribe, do all the things so you guys can be in the know so that you guys can learn to crochet as well. All right, that covers everyone who might be new. And if you were here last week, we're going to go ahead and jump into our project because we're going to start by sewing this bad boy together, and then we're going to add the legs and the tail. So we can put our pipe cleaner aside for now. You don't need your extra yarn yet, so you can shove that aside. Remember, we left a really long tail on the body. We're going to use that to connect the head. And we're going to be lining it up so that wherever you fastened off is going to be at the top. And you're going to see that the stitches, for the most part, I believe the count should be accurate. I've always had it really line up well. This neck will get a little tighter, but that is the way it's supposed to happen. So, if you're new to sewing, I'm not going to lie, this is not the best part about amigurumi. A lot of people despise sewing pieces together. It's also why no-sew patterns are so popular, because it can definitely help with that. But you're just going to start by threading on that tail, and we're going to line up our item, and you're going to just go slow. We're going to do this together. Now, as you can see, this little divot kind of fits into this little divot, and if you line that up, you should be good to go. I'm going to probably grab this lower one. If I grab this one, it's no big deal. It just you might have an extra stitch, and you might pull his head down a little bit. So try to grab the first stitch that's going towards the around part, so you don't bring back the head any more than you need to. But you're just going to whip stitch. That's what this is called, when you're whipping it through those two loops, and then you're going to go back here and whip it through these. So I'm going inside to outside on this one, and then I'm going from the outside to the inside on this one. If you want to make it easier, so you're not threading more, you can actually go directly working inside to outside on that one at the same time. And we're going to be doing that all the way around. Feels tedious, it's not the most exciting part, but I promise you, if you take your time on these aspects, you're going to get a nice clean finish. So we went in that one. Make sure you go into the next one. And we're going to do this all the way around. Boom. Don't pull too tight. You don't want to cinch it, because you'll actually start drawing that together if you pull it too tight. Just pull it to where there's enough tension where it brings those two stitches together. And you're going to feel it. Like, you don't need to be super strong with it. It's just going to be snug. But you don't need to actually, like, draw it together. Oops. Oh, wow. Jen, we definitely grabbed a little bit of that yarn right there. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. Be careful with your needle. My needle went rogue. My needle went rogue. And then we're just going to keep going all the way around. And after this, we will start those legs. Now, you'll notice it can be kind of hard to decide stuff in all that stuffing as you go. If you didn't stuff enough, when you get to the very end, you can always add more stuffing if you feel like it needs it. And there we go. And you'll see it's bringing those together. That's how much tension you need to have. And as you get to the middle point of the throat, if you notice that the stitches, like, let's say you're like, my head's looking like this, you can always start doubling up, meaning you can go into that one twice and then grab that one, so we have the middle of the body lined up with the middle of the head. You can always make those adjustments as you go. You shouldn't need to adjust on this one more than a stitch at the most, and that's because this pattern's actually written very well, where the number of stitches on the head line up with your neckline on the body. They actually did really good with this pattern. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised this pattern's available for free. With some of the stuff that I see out there, usually the free patterns are a lot more simple. They're not always the most intricate, and this is definitely one of my favorite free patterns that exist. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left. I have possibly one, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can keep going with one stitch to one stitch. We don't need to make any adjustments yet. When I get closer to that gap up here, I might have to cinch things down just to clean it up, but we'll make that call when we get there. Otherwise, we're just going to keep things even for now. Some of this is kind of like a trial and error. There's not always like a science to sewing these together. It's do what you can to get it to go together. You'll talk to a lot of people that do amigurumi. Most people, I've only met a few that actually like to sew their items together. So if you are that person, you are unique. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you are that person. The only part about sewing them together that I enjoy is seeing the animal come to life. So it's definitely not the sewing process I enjoy. It's more the finessing that I enjoy. So you'll see I'm kind of out of stitches and I've got myself quite a gap. We don't want to leave that. So I'm going to just grab and keep bringing this gap together until we have it closed. And then we can sew it shut and secure it with a knot. And this one, I'm going to go back into that. Let's see what that did. Do we still need to cinch it tight? We probably need to go back into this one. And that looks pretty good. So once you get it to a point where it's all connected, I'm not going to lie, I probably should have stuffed it a little bit more, but it's okay. I'm going to pull it a little bit tighter if I can. Nope, we're pretty much where we're at. Alright, so even out the stuffing. If your neck felt a little light, you can always go and stuff it. You might have to undo a few stitches at this point if you're this far along, but hopefully when you were right here, you check that and you can stuff it as necessary. Otherwise, it's no big deal. It's his neck. It's okay if the neck's a little skinny. It's a neck. Grab any loop that's close to where you're at, and here's how I tie it in a knot. You're going to pull it almost all the way through. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Almost all the way through like that. Go back through it and pull all the way through. That will create a knot. Okay? Pull it tight. If you want to be on the super safe side, go back through the same loop and do one more. That will lock in everything. And the second knot is the same way. You're going back through almost all the way. Going back through it again. And pulling it tight. So you should have something now that looks like this. Now we have all this tail. We definitely don't want to leave this out. So what I do is you're going to find a random loop, go through it, and I start hiding it in the body. So there's the hole that we just came out of, go back in, and I'm just going all the way down his body, and then we're going to cut it. That should be enough to secure the tail on your plushie. Boom! Alright, who's ready to start some legs? Alright, get rid of that, and we've got this so far. So perfect. I'm going to go back to the pattern so we keep learning how to actually read these patterns and read them appropriately. So let me grab my pointer. So here's how it's read. And I'll read it out loud just in case the screen is kind of difficult, but I kind of want to get you guys used to this. So we're doing a little bit of multiple things here. Insert the hook in round 10 of the body. I'm not going to lie, this is kind of hard to do, so I'll walk you through how I do it. 2 to 3 stitches under the eyes. Chain 9. And then it'll keep going. Single crochet into the third chain from hook. Chain 2, single crochet in the third chain, again, repeat one more time, and I'll break all that down. But how do I find that place? We can count the rows, and then I believe row 8 and 9 is usually around here. I've made this a couple times, so I'm cheating, and I do know. But you can also pick a spot that looks good. 2 to 3 stitches below the eye. Technically speaking, I did my eyes a little bit higher. If you did yours low, you could go like here and then go 1, 2. I adjust mine. Again, I've made like 5 of these, so it's kind of like I'm picking and choosing. This is where you start going rogue, as we call it. So I'm going to just kind of pick right here, and I'm probably going to start the leg here. This leg's going to take 2 slots, so I'm probably going to do the beginning here, and we're going to end here, and then the leg will exist right here. So if you think that's too low, you might want to jump up and do it between those stitches. But we are doing what's called sewing into the plushie. You're going to direct sew, or you're going to direct crochet, crochet into the plushie. We're going to direct crochet onto it. How do you do that? Start with a slip knot, okay? So, slip knot. A slip knot does not have to be crazy. Make a loop. Go back side of the loop. Pull that through. Not all the way through, because you want that still there. Insert your hook. Pull that tight. Boom. We're going to go into our first section, and we're going to start crocheting directly on to our creature, our chameleon. We're going to have to name the chameleon. I don't know if we ever did. Alright, so now it's telling us that we need to chain 9. So, it can be tricky. We're connected to an item. Hold on, let me pull this. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. The debacles of going live. Alright. We're going to yarn over, which is a little hard to do with our hook when it's connected, so you might have to use your left hand to guide it. And we're going to slip stitch and pull this tight. Now we're ready to chain our 9. But let's just make sure we're not doing anything crazy over here. Pull everything tight, and we are ready to go. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, I'm going to tell you, I do my legs a little differently. So we are going to go rogue together. I'm going to walk you through what I did. I wanted the legs to be a little bit thicker and not so wobbly because this person only wrote it with the chain to be the leg, and we're actually going to go back through and make it a little bit thicker. So what I want you to do is it says single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. How do I know what chain that is, Jen? I'm new. No worries. I will help you. Here's the hook. 1. This is 1. 2, 3. So 3rd from the hook. So we're going to go into that 3rd one. So go ahead and insert your hook. 1, 2, 3. Into that 3rd one. And then it says single crochet into 3rd chain from hook. Single crochet. Boom. You should have something that looks like that. Okay. Chain 2. 1, 2. Single crochet into the 3rd stitch again. So we're going back into the same stitch. Boom. Single crochet. Pull up 1, pull up 2. Okay. Chain 2. 1, 2. And then repeat one more time. Go back in and single crochet. That's what's creating our foot. And you might have to shape it a little when we're done, and that's okay. But here's what I do next. This is kind of where the pattern just says, okay, you can like finish off. Let's see, it says repeat one, 3rd stitch, you're gonna repeat one more, chain 9, single crochet into 3rd chain from hook. It says fasten off and weave all ends. I don't want to fasten off here. I'm gonna go back through. So how we're doing that is we're gonna slip stitch all the way back. So go ahead and insert here, and a slip stitch is you're going to pull up this loop and that loop. I know we don't do a lot of slip stitches in here, but you're going to do that all the way down. So slip stitch, pull through both loops, insert into the next one, pull through both loops, and you're going to keep doing that all the way back to the body. This is what's going to make this little arm just a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger, and then when you join it back to the body, it'll have another point of connection. Thank you so much, Millie. Welcome in, welcome in. I would like to take credit for this pattern. This pattern's not mine, but I have the link in the description, and if you check out this video and also last week's video, I walk you through how to do it. So if you're someone that's like a visual learner, you're in the right place, because you're going to totally be able to recreate your own chameleon as well. I hope you'll join. So this is where we went into this stitch first. So this is where we first started. Your next stitch is going to go here. So you're going to do a slip stitch right into the stitch below it. And that's how we're going to secure our arm. So we'll do that together. But at least you guys can see it now. Boom. You can always carry that thread through. We're gonna end up weaving them in. But pull through this one. And then we're going to fasten off. I fasten off by 1. You can leave yourself a little tail. It's okay to cut it. And then you're going to chain and finish pulling through all the way. Okay? Now, one of my students made this mistake, so I'm going to make sure I teach you guys how to not make this mistake. But whenever you fasten off, I know it can be real tempting to just cut it right there. Don't do that. The knots do not hold up when you do that, and you're going to end up seeing them unravel, and then your work is going to come completely apart on you, and it's not fun. Millie, let me catch up on your comments. Let's see. If I was able to donate, I would... Oh, you're good. You're good, Millie. I do this completely for free. So honestly, you being here, sharing, tapping, and subscribing, and all those things helps more than you know. So turn on your notifications, join all my classes, learn to stitch with me, and also I'm on TikTok too, so feel free to follow me over there. We go live Monday through Friday over there. But I love that you're a beginner. And you can only chain? Oh, I have tons of things to help you. I have tons of things. You can't control yourself at times? You're in the right place because neither can I. You're in the right place because neither can I. I'm addicted to yarn. I stitch all the things. But we're always making projects. And don't forget, if you're new, Millie, and anyone else who might be new or coming in after the fact, I pinned a link in the chat. That is my Discord. You guys will want to get in there because there's a ton of stitchers in there. We exchange patterns. If you're struggling with something, you can send a picture in there. Somebody will chat in there and try to help you. We just collaborate with a lot of other stitchers in there, and it's a great community, a great place to be. So it's free. Join. Get in on the fun. But we're going to take those 2 strands now, and we're going to weave them in. They're all secured because we've already tied them all, so you don't need to worry about that. But get as close to your slip stitch as you can, and then you're just going to hide that in there. Remember, no different than what we did with our tail on the other. You're just going to hide it in the body and take it through. This is just to secure it, hide it, because again, you don't want to cut your yarn too close to your knot or it's going to come out on you. Once you've hidden it through, you have plenty of tension. That is safe. You can cut it there, and we have one arm done. Woohoo! One arm done. Doesn't he look so cute? I love it. I love it. Okay, I forgot how much I love this pattern. I do. Okay, we're going to do the next arm now. Now this one, we're going to pick our 2 stitches. We're actually going to start on the bottom and finish on the top. But if you want them to be like even, you might want to look at it here and see kind of where it's at. But I already can tell it's like right here that I want to be. I think I want to do... No, hold on. Hold on. We don't want to go too low. So we're going to go right about here. Does that look good? That look good? I think that looks good. And we're going to start there. So again, our slip knot doesn't have to be crazy. You're just going to wrap it over itself, go along the back, and pull it through. Not all the way. If you pull that through, it'll just become a knot in your yarn. So that is a slip knot. Go ahead and insert your hook. We're going to pull it tight. I love the fact that you're going to subscribe, Millie. Welcome to the Stitch Nanigans, is what we like to call. Welcome to all the fun. Trust me, you're going to have a good time. Crochet addiction is real, but I feel like it's worth it. Some might not agree, but you know. It might be hard to yarn over, guys, so if you have to wrap your yarn around, go ahead and do that and pull through. That's just so we can get this connected. And if you don't remember, we're doing the exact same thing here. We started with a chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I appreciate you saying that, Millie. I would love to have more people watching. Keep sharing it. Our community is growing, though. I've been doing this for about a year on YouTube, and I've been live on TikTok for about 3 months. So I'm still fairly new in building my audience. I mean, I'm not new to crochet. I've been doing it my whole life, but I'm probably new, and that's why our room sometimes takes a little bit to get a few people, but a lot of people watch it after the fact. So you can always binge all of my old classes. They're all in the Get Hooked playlist. All of those are my old classes. I also have a ton of tutorials on there too. If there's ever anything you're looking to make, let me know as well, because I do factor in what my community is looking for when it comes to my next classes too. Oh, well, if you ever want to get on there, Millie, let me know, because we're live stitching there all the time. A great place that you can swing by and ask questions. But I'll be here every Thursday. Every Thursday is when I teach here. Okay, again, remember, we're going into the 3rd chain from the hook. Oh my gosh, where did my pointer go? It's hiding! Okay, so if our hook is here, here's our 1, 2, 3. You're going to go into that loop. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to single crochet. So pull up 1, and then pull up the 2. And we're chaining 2 again. So 1, 2. We're going back into that same stitch and single crochet. You're looking to make a flower? Oh, I have a flower bookmark. I do have a flower bookmark tutorial. Chain 2 again, guys, and do the third single crochet. And now we're going to slip stitch all the way back to the body. So just like the first one, go here, pull through both of those loops, and keep doing that slip stitch all the way across. All the way. But yeah, I have no intention of ending my Thursday class, so that will definitely be something I keep doing, and I will definitely keep in mind a flower. I do know that there's some really good flower granny squares that I've looked into making too, Millie. I don't know if you've seen those. So we see where our one stitch is. You can see it being pulled up right there. We want to go one stitch over, so our next slip stitch is going to be right there. Ooh, make sure I stay center in the screen so you guys can see it. So all we're going to do is get this kind of out of the way, go into that spot, and go back up over here and slip stitch again. So yarn over and grab through all of the loops on the hook. We're fastening off again, so take your scissors, and it's safe to cut it. Don't cut it too close. And we're going to pull that one more time all the way through to secure it. So pull that tight. And let's grab our yarn needle so we can hide those threads again. Oh, look at how close I got. That never happens. That never happens. It's going to be a good day. That's what that means. And we've got 2 legs almost done. We're actually making really good time. The tail does take a while, though. The tail does feel like it takes a while. So, again, pull those threads through. We're going to hide those in the body. I can go a little bit further. Not like I need to, but, you know. I'm getting so happy now. So happy! No pun intended. Cut that as close as you can. I'm glad you're here, Millie. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we also have the Discord link. You can get tons of help there. That's a free app. I know it feels like you're bouncing around from app to app, and it stinks that we all have to do that, but trust me, you get used to it. It is the best way to really get connected with a ton of people, though. Alright, we've got 2 arms! Now we can do the YMCA. Oh, that's gonna happen. We're gonna make you make a video, dude. I'm just saying. This dude's cool. Alright, now we've got to make our back legs. So let's start taking a look at that. And if you look at the back legs, it's saying the same thing. So it's going to tell us, like, insert the hook in the fourth of the around round 4 of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's telling you to aim around here. And 2 to 3 stitches under where the eyes are, and we're following the same process. Chain 9. Now they actually slip stitch back like we did on the front loop. I'm going to single crochet back. I'm going to walk you through all of this, so don't worry if it sounds like I'm speaking a different language. I get it. It can sound like that, but don't worry. We're good. We're good. I'm going to walk you through it nice and slowly. And here's where you see single crochet down the chain and fasten off and weave in all ends. So let's go ahead and we're going to start aiming. If you want to count 1, that's your first row. 2, 3, 4. This is where it tells you to kind of be. I want to keep it kind of level here. So it looks like I'm going to aim for this spot right here. And remember, we've got 2 stitches to account for because we start in one and we end in the other. So I'm going to insert my hook just to kind of get an idea. And I do like that placement. Find my end of the yarn. I shouldn't be spreading information. What do you mean? What do you mean? Just call me Camille. I will. I will. Spreading information? What kind of information are you afraid to spread? You should totally spread all the information. I don't know. Maybe you're just worried about your name. I wouldn't worry about that. But you know what, Millie? I can call you that all day. It's fine. I'm Jen. Nice to meet you. We're going to do another slip knot. Again, you're just going over around the back. If you guys didn't know how to do slip knots before, you're going to get a lot of practice today. And then let's get our hook. You're going to pull it tight, and we're ready to go right back into where we were. It might be hard to yarn over because you're stuck to an item, so just wrap it around with your left hand, or if you're a left-handed stitcher, your right hand, and pull through all the loops on hook. We are now connected. Pull that tight, and we're going to chain 9. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're not doing anything different except the last stitches. So again, your third chain from hook, and I know my fingers are going to get in the way in a second, so you're going not here, 2, 3, we're going right into here. So right into there, and we're going to work a single crochet. You're going to chain 2. We're going back into that same spot for another single crochet. Chain another 2. And right back in here with another single crochet. You should have something that kind of looks like a blob. It does. That's okay. This is your first crochet video you've seen. That is not potato quality? What is potato quality? I mean, we make a lot of things. This is our project of the week that we're working on in the Cord right now, or the Discord. I can actually say it here. On my other platform, I have to be very careful about what I say. So we make a lot of things. This is a banana. So cute. You can also make it a corn by just changing the colors. I finished this one as well. I know this isn't show and tell, but like, we make a lot of different things. We made this giraffe. I usually do a lot of scarves, shawls, and beanies. So you're going to find a lot of things. I don't think there's anything that can't be crocheted. Well, I have tried to do some random things that may not have looked so good. But, you know, I feel like there's always a way. Yeah, banana. Dude, the banana's so cute. I'm actually making another one right now. He's not done. I'm probably going to make a few more this week because it's our project of the week. But yes, we're always stitching, girl. We're always stitching. Okay, so we just finished our third single crochet. Now, instead of slip stitching, I mean, you can slip stitch if you want. I'm going to actually work single crochets going back just to make the back leg a little bit thicker. I feel like it needs to be more realistic. I don't know. But, so you're going to start going into that first one. And remember, we're not slip stitching this time. So pull up 1, you're single crocheting. So then you're going to pull up 2. And you're going to keep going all the way down. Pull up 1, pull up 2. Keep going. I lose my hook a lot, so mostly I use a pencil. Dude, you know there's a running joke with crocheters, right? Where like we're always like, where's my hook? I feel like that needs to be on every crocheting t-shirt out there, because especially if you crochet on the couch a lot, our couches and our sofas, they tend to eat a lot of our hooks. I'm just saying, you wouldn't be the only person to lose it all the time. Oh, I noticed you. I'm glad I noticed you. I try really hard to pay attention to the chat, Millie. I really do. I really do. I know that means a lot to people. If I ever miss a comment, trust me, I did not do it intentionally. Say it again, because I know on this side of life, oh, especially when the room is popping, you got a lot of questions, it can get overwhelming. So, okay, if you guys... So, I know we've got a lot going on right here, and it looks like chaos, but pay attention to where you started. And we started right there. All you're going to do is go 1 stitch over, and that's where we're going to finish. So try not to get caught up in the fact that you've got a lot going on here. You can always go and tighten anything you need to. So insert your hook and get that other, make sure you're grabbing, I always just leave that down so we're crocheting over it. Grab the right piece of yarn, yarn over, and pull through both of those. There we go. We're going to fasten off now. So again, nothing different than on the other leg. Cut it, leave a little bit of a tail, and 1 more chain, but this time you're pulling it. Oh, I split my yarn. Hold on. 1 more chain, and you're pulling it all the way through. Pull that sucker tight, and we're going to sew it in. Now, I made a boo-boo. This is not the same length. If you want to sew both strands in together to work smarter and not harder, just make them the same length. It's not something you can't recover from, but it will make it easier because now you don't have to sew in 2 strands separately. You can sew them both in at the same time. So hopefully. Do I know a rapper named Ginger? No, I do not know who that is. Millie, who is that? Oh man, Kalis doesn't notice me pro star. Oh no! You go into a lot of lives then. I don't know. I go into a few lives. Oop. And of course the phone has to go off now. Alright, so pull that leg forward a little bit, and we're going to hide this yarn. You should have pulled it tight. I'm going to go back in, and again, now I'm working forward in the body just because I don't want to cut these strands close to the knot. That's the whole thing. You don't have to go crazy. You just want to make sure you don't have to cut the strands close to the knot. And you do that by giving yourself space, hiding that space, and now we can cut it. I guess I should be better at the angle. There we go. And now you can cut it right there, and it will naturally pull itself into the stuffing, and now we've got 2 legs on that side. It's looking so good! Alright, let's do our last leg. Now again, we're trying to stay even, so I'm aiming for probably here and here. So this will be my second placement. And I'm just kind of looking around. Does it look fair? I mean, it's not going to be exact, obviously, but you're just trying to get close. You're just trying to get close. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm ready to grab my yarn again. Except I've lost the end. There it is. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much, Millie. Do you go live a lot? Slip knot. Again, you're just going over on the back side. Wow, that was a really bad one. Let's try that again. Go over on the back side and pull through. But do you go live a lot? What kind of channel do you have, Millie? Alright. Carefully pull that out. Grab your slip knot, and we're going to go right back into the same holes, and you're going to slip knot. And if you guys are joining me late, don't worry, all of my live classes will be available for replay. In fact, if you go to my channel and check out the Get Hooked playlist, you'll see all of my previous classes, including the one where we started the head and the body. And then this week's will drop in as soon as I'm done live, and you'll be able to catch up with making your arms, legs, and the tail. So you guys can definitely make yourself a chameleon. Oh, you do crochet videos. Nice. What do you like to crochet? What's your favorite thing, Millie? And if you guys are watching after the fact, obviously I teach live, so I do interact a lot with my chat. I've got a few regulars in here that definitely crochet with me. If you guys want to get in on the fun, it's every Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Alright, we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But welcome in, welcome in. I see there's a few more people dropping in. If you guys like to stitch, let me know what you like to stitch. I love it. Ooh, you make roses. Oh. I wish I had my turtle with the rose shell in front of me. I made a turtle. Oh, here he is. I do love roses. I made the turtle with the rose shell. This was off of a YT video, or a YouTube video, sorry, I forget I'm on this platform and I can say it. But this is not my pattern either. I usually write patterns when it comes to shawls and things like that. And mine are available on my Etsy store, so you can always take a look at that. Alright guys, 3rd chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. So we're going right into that spot. Okay? And we're going to work a single crochet. So insert your hook, pull up 1, pull up 2. And now you're going to chain another 2. 1, 2. Back into the same spot. It's already kind of big, so it should be able to see it real easy. Single crochet again. And 1, 2. And our 3rd single crochet into the same spot. Boom. Can I hold it back up so I can screenshot? What are you looking at screenshot? The turtle? I can try. There you go. There you go. If you message me, I can send you the link. I still have the video in my history. I made it a while ago, but I can find it. Just send it to me. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Alright. Now we're going to single crochet all the way back. So our first one's going to be right there. Boom. And pick up 1. Pick up 2. And you're doing that all the way back to the body. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. The last part we have is the tail. The tail is a feat. I'm not going to lie. It's a little tedious and it's hard to really stick with it, but we are going to get through it and we're going to get through it together. So hopefully guys, you are doing good. Get that last stitch right here. Boom. Single crochet. And now we're going to slip stitch. Here's where we did our first stitch. Now we're going to go over one more. Boom. And slip. Ooh, hold on. That happens to the best of us. Let's get all the loops back on there. Let's do that again. Go back here. And you're going to pull through. Make sure to also pull through that one. And we're going to cut it and fasten off again. If you want to keep it the same length, you could do this. But make sure you grab the right one. There we go. If you have a question on whether or not you're grabbing the right strand, you should be able to pull it back and forth. When you pull it, your hook should get tighter. And if you pull it out, notice how when I pull this one, nothing happens to the thread on the hook, or the yarn on the hook. That's because it's not the one that's connected. That was the one that started it. So that's always a good test. Pull it all the way through. That will create a knot. And now you're going to pull it tight. Now you're going to pull it tight. Am I doing something else other than amigurumi? I can, Diva. I haven't in a while. I do have some shawls and stuff. What are you looking for? I have been wanting to start another shawl. I'm not going to lie. In fact, I have a couple patterns that I just released that I should do tutorials on. So you tell me what you're looking for, Diva. Good to see you back, by the way. How are you? Alright, we're going to sew that back in. We've just been on an amigurumi kick because someone named Ara came into my community. If you're out there, shout out Ara. And she started showing me all these patterns on Ribbler, and I got kind of addicted, I'm not going to lie, because they were so flippin' cute. And I've been on an amigurumi kick lately, but I don't normally. I told myself I would never do amigurumi, if that makes you feel any better. Alright, you're going to go right back in anywhere you would like, close to where we did that slip stitch. And again, we're just hiding that last strand. You're thinking about deleting your channel. Well, I can't, I don't know how to give you advice on that one. That's a tough call to make. It would depend on what you were hoping to accomplish, but I can tell you, if what you're trying to do is make it on one of these channels, it takes time, hun. It takes so much time. Anybody that's out there, they did not make it big overnight. I've been doing this for over a year, and I'm still working at it. But you got to kind of understand you're doing it for fun too, so it is what it is. Alright, cut that. Be careful not to cut any of those strands that are close, and we now have all of our legs. It doesn't really matter if the legs go forward or backward. You can always play around, and if you really want them to go forward, you could always sew in some extra stitches to make it lay flat. I just kind of let the legs do what they want because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the appeal of it looking a little quirky. It makes it kind of fun. Diva, you just got home from work? Well, the good news is it'll be available for replay. So I hope you'll finish your chameleon, because I know you were working on something with me not too long ago. Was it the chameleon that you were doing? There's something I'm excited about, though, that I might post about. If it excites you, that's good, because that'll come through. That'll come through on your video, and people do notice that. Amy's not my go-to. It's a fun distraction once in a while, but I prefer blankets, shawls, and wearables. Okay, Diva. I know you can't probably see this because I'm in the small screen, but I do a lot of shawls and whatnot and wearables as well. I actually have some tutorials, so definitely check out my previous ones. Yes, you did the pig. That's right. That pig was so fun. The pig was really fun. But yes, I do a lot of shawls. I have some tutorials on, if you look at my very first live class, there's a gorgeous shawl that's really easy and really good for this time of year. It's on the very first video on the Get Hooked playlist. It's a quick one too, so you only need like 600 or 700 yards. And it's a nice mesh, where did my pointer go? It's a nice easy mesh one, and it works up really quickly. Alright, now we're going to do the tail. The tail is where we're going to start crocheting around our pipe cleaner, so get that on hand. That's all it's saying here, is that we're going to end up doing the pipe cleaner. You don't want to wait too long to insert the pipe cleaner, and I'll show you why, because it can get really dicey. But we're going to do 6 single crochets into a magic ring, and then we're going to do single crochets in the around in circles for 19 rows. That's why I say it can feel almost like it's going to take forever, but I promise you it's worth it. Just let's leave it at that. It's worth it. So let's go ahead and start. If you've never done a magic ring, it's no different than a slip knot. You're just stitching into the slip knot before you close it. So same thing. I like to hold my cut yarn, go alongside the back, okay? I'm just going to bring that, so you got alongside the back, go over the front, so you're creating that X. Pinch everything down, under, over, and pull that through. Twist as you come up. You can take your fingers out and you've got yourself a slip knot. Pull it tight. You don't want to pull it all the way tight, but you just want to pull it tight enough where you can hold it and it doesn't feel like it's like a flimsy, loose, whatever, because that's what makes it hard to stitch into. Now you don't want to have your hook super tight like that, so pull it out a little bit. This first chain that you make it loose or you'll lose your mind. It just, good, nice, loose chain on that first one, and you'll thank me later, I promise. We're going to do 6 single crochets. So here's 1. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, we are not going to join with a slip stitch. We are going to work in a spiral. So if you have a stitch marker, I totally recommend you get that close to you because you're going to want it. It just helps, especially if you have a distracting environment. You don't have to worry about counting stitches or anything. You're going to grab that first single crochet, and you see how I grabbed both of those loops? Here's what it looked like. You're grabbing both of those loops. I'm crocheting over the tail. That's just to hide it as we go. And you're going to start, here's the start of our second row. So here's our first single crochet. I always mark the first stitch in every row. It makes it easy. Makes it easy. You feel like they're only jugala. What is that? I don't even know what that means. You feel like the only one in here? I don't know. I mean, we've got 8 people, 7 people. We got people. Trust me. Some of my regulars are in here too. So it's just some of them wait for the replay because they like to do things on their own time, and some of them are eating dinner because I have a lot of people from the East Coast. So you have a lot of things going on there. So we did our 1 single crochet. We're doing 1 single crochet in each stitch. So keep going around. There's our next stitch right there. We're just crocheting over the tail still. Here's our next one. And I avoid counting by using my stitch markers, because if you guys don't know, counting while talking and managing this channel, it's something that doesn't always happen very well. So the more you can like mark things, you can handle distractions, and you don't have to worry about whether or not the kid interrupts you and asks you a question, or whether you're out and about and crocheting on the go and there's a, something that grabs your attention. That was our stitch marker, so we know this is the first stitch of our next row. So mark that stitch and keep going around. We'll do the pipe cleaner in a little second. I just want to get a few rows under our belt. But again, every row you're just doing 1 single crochet in each stitch. This is going to feel like the never-ending spiral, and it kind of is, but we've only got 19 rows, so it goes quickly because it's only 6 stitches. So don't get too hung up on that. We're back at that beginning. Remove our stitch marker, and we're going to place it right back. And this is row 4. We've started row 4. Keep going, single crochets. Now that you have more to grab, it's going to get a little easier because you can kind of hold the bottom of the tail. I'm going to cut that off so it's not in our way anymore. We have enough of it threaded over, it's not coming out. So we can just get rid of that, and that way we can keep going nice and easy. So just keep rotating it and crocheting those single crochets all the way around. We're at the beginning again. Remove that. Whoops, oops, oops, don't grab the back ones. Do our first single crochet, and we're now starting row 5. I'm a girl who listens to and can clown posse, so I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to look that up, Millie. And you're talking to someone I used to we used to do a lot of Cirque du Soleil fitness stuff, so I definitely am usually in a lot of these artsy groups, but this is one I have not heard of. I'm gonna have to look it up. Alright, we did another 6 single crochets. I'm going back into the one with the stitch marker, so there is our first stitch on our 7th row, I believe. Did I lose count already? Let's see. If you ever need to look, you can start with, we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're starting our 6th row. And just keep going. Another 6 single crochets all the way around. I do have a stitch counter. It's assigned to another project, but if you have one, this is where it can actually be really beneficial. I'm going to start writing down my numbers over here on a post-it just so I know. I'm about to start the 7th row now. So we got our first stitch of the 7th row. Place your stitch marker and keep going. I mean, yeah, if you're here on Thursdays, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, that's when I teach. I have no idea what I'm doing next week yet. I know I have a placeholder in there, so you can always go over there and have it notify you when I start. But, yeah, Thursdays are definitely the days I'm here. Alright, let's take a look. We're going to start the 8th row now. So here's our first stitch. Place your stitch marker. Before we get too far on the 8th row, I want to start getting that pipe cleaner in there, because if you wait too long, the pipe cleaner starts getting into the side and it makes it really hard to fish it through. Now, luckily this yarn's a little bit more forgiving, but some other yarns are not so pleasant, and if you don't get it worked through, it's really hard to get it down the center. So you want to start kind of incorporating this, and we're just going to keep crocheting around it, and then we'll cut it to size once we get there. Unless you're okay with lions and guests, if you're not, look them up and you're scared of clowns. Oh no, well my husband's afraid of clowns. I'm not so much, but yes. Oh, I'm sorry, your phone. Get it charged, get it charged. But like I said, it'll all be available for replay, so you're always down to watch this after the fact or any of my other ones. I hope to see more of you, though. I'm so glad you stopped by. Alright guys, this is our 8th row. Let's keep going. Yes, the pipe cleaner will get annoying. That is why I tell you the tail can be a painful side, but it's worth it, trust me. It's worth it. Just be careful, go slow. Try not to grab any unwanted loops along the way. And we're back at the beginning. And I know this is going to feel like a monotonous part. This is the monotonous part because we are now on row 9 of 19. Alright, again, another 6 single crochets around. Ooh, I definitely grabbed a loop I wasn't supposed to. It happens all the time. That's why you just want to go slow and be careful, and if you have to use your left hand more to loop yarn instead of using the hook, this is a time where it might be okay to do so. And we're starting row 10, so we're more than halfway down now. More than halfway done. Deba, are you also on my TikTok side, or are you only following me here on YouTube? Because I've got a subscriber-only event coming up through TikTok that I don't have a date yet, but I know we're going to plan a date either this weekend, and we're going to nail it down. We're going to be doing a nice shawl together. I found a new pattern that I've been dying to try, and that's one that we're doing for the subs only. So I just want to make sure if you're one of them, I want to make sure you knew about it. What's up, Lorraine? How are you? If I twist the little loop on the end of the pipe cleaner, it doesn't pop out as much. I didn't even think of that. I actually don't have trouble with it popping out, but I am going to bend it just a little bit, and that might help. Because what's going to happen is we're going to obviously curl the tail when we're done. But I'm really glad you... Thank you so much, Lorraine. Because I know it's not your first rodeo. You've been crocheting for a minute. I actually don't feel it like wanting to come out, but I did bend it. I did bend it for you. That sounds really weird, but I did. Okay, you are on TikTok as well. Just know that on TikTok, I'm going to have a subs-only event coming up. And it's going to be announced probably in the next few days. I just have to finish picking a date. And we'll be doing more shawls and stuff, so you can always find that stuff there too. Alright, we're getting back to the beginning. This is going to start row 11. We're getting close to the end. But keep marking your stuff. Keep marking your stuff. And then I'll show you how to sew it on, and then you'll have yourselves a chameleon. Keep going. Thought I grabbed a loop I wasn't supposed to. I remember one time, Lorraine, I actually did the whole tail and never put in the pipe cleaner. You're late as usual. No, no worries. You always know I have my stuff available for replay, so it's all good. But I did the whole tail and then tried to fish it in afterwards. Oh, it was a debacle. I was able to salvage it, thank goodness. But the struggle was real. The struggle is real. So I did learn my lesson, and I now crochet around the pipe cleaner. But it's not the easiest thing. It can be kind of annoying, especially if you have to do a lot of rows and there's not a lot of stitches because it doesn't give you a lot of room to work. But yes. And if you have to stuff it as well, because I've had some patterns where you have the pipe cleaner and then you also have to stuff it. Oh man, those can get kind of gnarly. Those can get kind of gnarly. Alright, we just started row 13. Remember, we have 19 rows total. Alright. This one thing. Does it let me? Okay, wasn't sure. And we're going to keep going. Alright, we're back at the beginning again. Told you, this is the only part that feels like really evil about this pattern. The only part is this tail. The rest I can do no problem. This is the part I put off. Don't forget to place your stitch marker. This is row 14. We're getting close. I had a battle with a Nessie neck not long ago. Oh no, how did that go? I just did a giraffe, and for the first time I reinforced the neck, and that was where I definitely had stuffing and pipe cleaners in there. I'm glad I did it though, because that was the first time I've actually put pipe cleaners in the neck to reinforce it, and it made it a lot better. It made it a lot better. We're back at the beginning. Place your stitch marker. This is the start of row 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 more after that first one. That would be our 6th. Nessie won. Oh no, Lorraine! How did she win? That's not okay. She shouldn't have. Alright, we're now starting our 16th row. There we go. There we go. And we're about to start 17. Keep carrying that stitch marker through. Trust me, it helps. 17, it has begun. Was Nessie supposed to be a gift for somebody? Did you end up using a different pattern? I hope you still saved the project to some extent. That would be terrible to like invest that much time and then have it win. It's like losing at Yarn Chicken. Nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for losing at Yarn Chicken. Alright, we're starting 18. We're almost done! And 5. This is our 6th stitch. Come on. And this is our last row. Last row. We're still going to use our stitch marker. So I don't trust myself to count to 6. Trust me, I get it. It's weird, but you know, here we are. You always know how to count until you start crocheting, and then you're like, wow, counting is hard. Yes, this is real. I don't care who you are. And I've been crocheting on again, off again my whole life, and I'm 41. So that being said, like, if I haven't learned to count in crochet after 41 years, I'm not going to. So we're going to keep using our stitch markers. Dang it. Alright, I'm going to leave myself a pretty decently long tail because I am going to be sewing with it. But you can cut it. I have a decent tail. Probably excessive, don't worry. Whenever I fasten off, I like to do one more slip stitch. I know not every pattern or every, like, whatever tells you to do that, but it just, I don't know, I feel like it's cleaner. And then you're going to chain. And again, you're going to pull through until that cut end comes through. That will create a knot, and you're secure. Now what we're going to do is stretch it, because I want to make sure that this pipe cleaner is pretty... I don't want it to slide back in it. I know that sounds kind of weird, and for lack of better terminology, we're just going with it. And then you need to cut it. I would recommend, if you're really picky about your yarn scissors, use a different pair of scissors because it's metal and you don't want to make them dull. If you're like me, save your scraps because, believe it or not, you might use this little piece again in the future. So I save them. I just wrap it all around the other ones, and so whenever I need to find it again, I have it. So save your pipe cleaners. They are good for a lot of projects. Hold on, I found another scrap that I need to add to it. Alright. Grab your yarn needle again, and we're going to attach this. And then we're going to be done. Did I leave a needle out, or did I put it away? I'm being very good at putting it away. Look at me. The cat made off with 3 of the flippers. Oh no, and the rest is in a UFO box. Oh my god, Lorraine. You sound like a hot mess like me. But at least we're hot, right? Alright. So we've got our tail. We're going to attach it. I like to try to line up this bottom part with the pointy part of the bum. So I do still also like this section to probably go there too. So hold on. Let's kind of manipulate it, get it there, and then we're going to start sewing. So since I want to kind of be in line with the center, I'm going to make that first stitch into the center. And again, I'm going out and in, and then on this side, I'm working from the center and going out. But I should grab that one. Center of the item and going out. And we're going to whip stitch again. So we're going to pull this one tight. Ooh, ooh. That might happen. Watch your legs. And then before I make that second stitch, I'm just going to kind of confirm my placement. See how everything's lining up. And then I'm going to grab another spot on the side. There's not a whole lot of rhyme and reason. You just want to kind of find where it looks good. Out, in, and then from the inside on this one, you don't want to grab from here. You want to grab from here. So I'm working from the inside to the outside on that one. And we'll keep pulling it tight. We're going to find another spot over here. And I'm going to go towards. And then, again, inside to out. This might be a little bit long, the pipe cleaner, so I'm going to shove it in there. I get it, the terminology. I don't want to hear it. Get your minds out of the gutter, you guys. But keep it tight and just kind of get that pipe cleaner so that it's in the middle, and it will help push the tail up. And we can definitely do some extra stitches when we get it all secured to really shape it a little bit better. So I'm going right there. Again, grabbing those 2 braids from the inside out and pulling it all tight. See, the more you pull it together, the more it'll stand up. I'm going to grab right here and get those. And then I'm going to to go right back to where we started and grab the last ones. Now, I'm not going to fasten off yet or secure it. I kind of want to... The tail feels like it has such a lot going on that I feel like I need to reinforce it a little, and that's okay. If you guys notice it feels kind of floppy and you're not really sure if you want to kind of tighten it down in some areas, then just tighten it down. You've got extra yarn to play with. There's no rule about it. Like, go through and secure it to some more areas. You can tighten in some sections. Like, that's totally acceptable. Just keep it close to the base so you don't create like extra stitches, if you will. But it'll just help kind of finesse your work. So feel free to go a little bit sew happy and really lock it down. That's really good. And I think I want to go through here one more time to tie those together more. And then I think we're ready to kind of fasten it off. So I'm going to get us to an inconspicuous spot because you don't want to have knots in the middle. I'm going to probably go over here so it's kind of where his booty is, so it kind of hides in a place that no one's going to really look, you know? I mean, if you're looking at a chameleon's booty a little too closely, then we got a whole different problem, but we can talk about that later. Alright, so now that we're here, we're going to tie ourselves that knot again. No different than the other way we did it with the legs. You're going to grab a strand that's close. You're going to pull it through, but not all the way. And once you have a little loop left, go right through it. And you're going to do that one more time to make sure you have it in a good knot and it'll stay secure. So, grab that same loop if you're able to find it. If not, just grab one that's close. Pull through. Leave yourself a loop at the very end. Grab it again with your needle and pull it all the way through. You are secure now. That will be good. Go back through and start hiding that throughout the body. And you don't have to go crazy. Just go throughout the body until you've hidden it and it's got enough tension so that you're not having to cut your yarn too close to the knot where you fastened off. That's the big thing, is you don't want to be cutting close to where you fastened off. Now, there's a big discrepancy here. I see a lot of people twist their chameleon tails this way, but apparently you're supposed to go under. So oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many times I get spammed. Do with that what you will. It is your creature. You can do whatever you like, but you're just going to now curl that tail, kind of pinch it tight, and it will hold because of that pipe cleaner in there. And now you've got yourself a finished chameleon. I hope you guys have something that looks like this. I know several of you guys are going to do this after the fact. But yeah, if you have any questions along the way, I personally respond to all of the comments in the chat before, during, and after production. So once this goes live, if you guys put any comments in there, I will definitely respond. If you guys have questions, feel free to hit me up. But you should end up with something that looks like this. So, hopefully, for those of you that are doing this, you guys should give yourself a big pat on the back because it looks really good. It looks really good. And I'm sure you guys have something close to it, and I'm so excited for you guys because this one was actually a little bit tougher. I mean, it's not super difficult, but it was a little tougher than the pig that we did, and the sheep. Well, the sheep was kind of hard with the color changes and stuff. But yeah, this one has been one of my favorite patterns. Again, the link for it, it's not my pattern, but the link for it is in the description. It is a free pattern that you can get off of the Ribbler app, and the creator and everything is tagged in the description, and the link is directly there, so you guys can always follow there, or you have these two videos that you guys can save the link to and always make a million of them on your own because they are totally worth it. I've gifted a few of these to people and they absolutely love it. So, guys, thank you so much for spending time with me and stitching. That is all we're going to do today. I don't know what we're doing next week yet. I do know I've been itching to do some shawls again, Diva, so you're not too far off there. I might actually switch it up and do one. It'll depend on how a couple of these other patterns go. Otherwise, we'll definitely have another project going on next week. Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you are on TikTok, or even if you're thinking about it, I'm there Monday through Friday around 12:30 Pacific Standard Time, and we stitch all day. Random stitching, but you can always drop in and ask a question. I'll be happy to help you in any way that I can. You guys also have the link in the Discord. That is pinned at the top of the chat, so if you go into the chat section and you look all the way to the top, you'll see the HTTPS, the Discord, that link. I will also post it again if you guys are like, oh, just post it again. There it is. It's in the chat. If you guys want to get in our Discord, it's great. We have tons of patterns in there. We also have a ton of people, a lot of stitchers in there that we're all just bragging about the different things that we're making. We're dropping different patterns. We're suggesting different ways to use different yarn. You can really collaborate with a lot of other yarn addicts like yourself. So get in the Cord. If you guys are joining after the fact and you're like, the Discord link doesn't work, I get it. Throw another comment or message me. You guys can always comment, and I can send you another link directly. It's really easy, and I can do that in a heartbeat. Otherwise, go to my link tree. My email's in there. All of my social media platforms are in there. That is in my bio. So the link to the link tree is in my bio. You guys can see my Etsy store. You guys can get connected with all the things Jenetics Creations. But otherwise, I will see you guys next week, and I can't thank you enough for stitching with me. Guys, keep stitching. Let's keep changing the world one stitch at a time. And if you guys don't know what you're going to do with this little guy, give him to someone who will make him smile. Let's spread some love. Let's spread some love. Alright guys, I will see you next week. This will be available for replay. So for a few of you who just jumped in, welcome. My name is Jen. I teach crochet. I also write patterns and I sell my items and the patterns on Etsy. Feel free to grab all of the information. The Discord link is in the chat. That's free. And then I have a bunch of free resources in the description. So definitely join me next week. You're back. You're back. Oh, I'm actually wrapping up, Millie. But join me next week. Next Thursday. Thank you. This turned out great. Grace, I love it. I can't wait to see yours. Dang it. Oh, Millie. Get connected in the Discord, my love. Get connected in the Discord. The link is pinned. The link is also in the chat. If you go about 2 chats up, it's that nice little funky URL. It's a free app. It's a free group. Join in there. And I will see you guys all next Thursday, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This, if you stay on, this will redirect you to next week's class. You can turn on the notifications and you can go from there. Bye. Bye. Thank you, Diva. Good to see you guys. I'll see you guys on TikTok. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll go live back over there. We'll be stitching again. And then I'll see you guys next week. All right, guys. Keep stitching. Take care.